Two big bad words on everyone's lips these days are climate change. We hear about it in the paper, on TV, and politicians seem to be forever talking about it. So what does climate change actually mean? The truth is, scientists say that the climate of our world is changing, and these changes are in large part caused by humans. Humans need energy for just about any function we perform. The main way we contribute to climate change is by burning fossil fuels to generate some of this energy. Today, fossil fuels are mined and burned to release the energy stored inside them. These fuels are widely used as there is a good supply and they're fairly cheap to mine and drill for. The problem is, when we burn these fossil fuels, the carbon trapped inside them is released in the form of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas which contributes to climate change. Fossil fuels are also non-renewable, which means that one day they'll all be gone. Basically, climate change is bad news for everyone. If something isn't done soon, we can expect extreme weather, rising sea levels, heat waves, a loss in water supply, and an impact on wildlife and agriculture. So how can we help to fight against climate change? With magical beans, of course! In the past, we've tried to create a fuel from existing crops and plants. This was a first-generation biofuel. But scientists soon realised that this solution was creating more problems. To grow these plants, we need to use industrial fertiliser, and to make this, we need to combine hydrogen and nitrogen gas. This is both expensive and hard to do, requiring the presence of intense heat and pressure. This process creates ammonia, which can be used to make nitrogen fertiliser. The use of nitrogen fertiliser, while being beneficial to crop growth, has a number of negative consequences. The energy needed to create the fertiliser generally comes from fossil fuel sources releasing a huge amount of carbon dioxide. Not only that, but the fertiliser needs to be transported and applied to the crops. The use of trucks and tractors for fertilisation results in more carbon dioxide being emitted into the atmosphere. The fertilised crops can't take in all that nitrogen at once. This creates a lot of runoff, which then goes underground during rainstorms and transfers to rivers and other water supplies, polluting this water and making it undrinkable. Any remaining nitrogen fertiliser can also be converted into nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is a greenhouse gas 296 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. So really, by trying to reduce our carbon emissions and using first-generation biofuels, we're actually enhancing something worse, nitrous oxide emissions. We're polluting our environment by using non-legumes as biofuel crops. We must find another solution, and this is where legumes come in. Now, while all plants need nitrogen to grow, did you know that not all plants need nitrogen fertiliser? Legumes have the ability to form a special relationship with bacteria in the soil, collectively called rhizobia. This special relationship results in what's called nodulation and forms little nodules. Inside these nodules, a process called BNF, biological nitrogen fixation, takes place, which converts nitrogen from the atmosphere into a form the plant can use. BNF is important for the environment because it can avoid the use of nitrogen fertiliser. Only legumes can perform BNF, and that's what makes them the real hero here. So what does this all mean? By using first-generation biofuels, we're actually creating more greenhouse gases which are contributing to climate change. By using fuel made from legumes instead, we can reduce the use of nitrogen fertiliser, which will also reduce the emissions of greenhouse gases. We can reduce pollution in soils, water, and the air, and moderate our impact on climate change thanks to climate change-fighting legumes.